Hi, I'm Chris for RightSizeLife.com. For those of us living single or in pairs, it is always best to seek out opportunities to make full use of our kitchens. Just like in a larger household, the kitchen is a key ingredient to making our dwelling feel both secure and comfortable. It turns out that there are a few basic things that, if we master the technique, greatly expand our ability to use our kitchen. Today I'm going to show you one of those broadly useful tools, the vinaigrette. Let's go to the kitchen and mix some oil and acid. Most of us think of a vinaigrette as a salad dressing, particularly Italian. Or, if we're old enough, we think of shaking up oil and vinegar in a bottle, like this. Certainly that is a great use for a vinaigrette. However, vinaigrettes have a wide array of uses outside of the typical salad dressing. They make amazing meat marinades, steamed, grilled, or raw vegetable toppings. It can be used to pour over grilled and baked meats as a light and flavorful sauce. In other words, they are definitely worth learning how to make. Speaking of salad dressings, most of us would eat more salad and lightly dressed vegetables at home if we had a bigger variety of dressings. However, when our household size is small, a variety of dressings, although nice to have, won't get used up and take up space in our refrigerator. But if we master the basic vinaigrette, it turns out that we have a base that can be flavored in a variety of ways, eliminating both the bottles of waste and all the clutter. All you need to remember for a basic vinaigrette is 3 to 1. 3 parts oil to 1 part acid. The easiest way to maintain this ratio is to use a tablespoon and a teaspoon. Use a tablespoon for the oil and a teaspoon for the acid. And no matter how much or how little vinaigrette you want to make, it's always the same. 1 tablespoon of oil to 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Now I also have one of these handy quarter cups or 4 tablespoon cups that I like to use. If I measure out 4 teaspoons of vinegar and fill this little cup, it makes a perfect amount of dressing for 2 people or about 5 tablespoons. I'm going to begin with 4 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. I'm using a pretty good aged balsamic vinegar here, which is sweet. If you don't like that much sweetness, you can do a couple teaspoons of balsamic vinegar and a couple teaspoons of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar to kind of cut the sweetness. Again, I'm going to keep that ratio of teaspoon to tablespoon. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Because you're making your own vinaigrettes, you might as well invest in good vinegars and good oils to make your vinaigrette. After all, you're not going to be buying bottles of salad dressing anymore, so you should have plenty of money to do it. And when you first start to incorporate the oil into the acid, go really slow. Just kind of drizzle a little oil at a time. What you're looking for is for the vinegar to turn into kind of a syrup at the bottom of your bowl. Notice I used a big bowl too because I'm whipping around pretty good and I don't want to spill anything. Once it starts to get kind of syrupy at the bottom of the bowl, then you can really start to add the oil a little more quickly. A note here about ratios. 3 to 1 is the classic vinaigrette ratio from French cooking. 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. You can experiment with adding more vinegar if you want. I certainly do when I normally make a vinaigrette. I go heavy on the vinegar because that's the flavor that I like. However, when you first start learning, it's good to go back to the basics of the 3 to 1 ratio. It's also the kind that we're used to getting out of the bottle. Now, once you've finished adding most of the oil, you can start to look at ways to flavor the vinaigrette. The basic flavoring is the basic flavoring we use for anything else, some salt and some pepper. You can also use things like hot sauce, seasoned salts. At this point, you can add fresh herbs, a whole variety of other things to make your vinaigrette a little more exciting than just a straightforward balsamic. Once that's incorporated, take a spoon, taste the vinaigrette to see if it's okay. At this point, you can pour it over all kinds of stuff. This makes about 5 tablespoons, which is a pretty good amount of vinaigrette for 2 people. I really like this particular vinaigrette, just balsamic and some oil poured over steamed vegetables. It's really different and it makes steamed vegetables really come alive. And once you have the basic ratio and technique down, you can begin to experiment with flavorings. You can skew the vinaigrette Asian by using rice vinegar, a clean oil like canola, and then adding soy sauce, ginger, garlic, and a little sriracha. You can make a great chicken or vegetable marinade by using lemon juice instead of vinegar. And if you're feeling Mexican, try lime juice, olive oil, then add some cumin and chili powder. The possibilities are endless. Start experimenting with vinaigrettes. Try something as simple as the balsamic we demonstrated and pour it over steamed broccoli, cauliflower, or asparagus. And stop buying lightly sauced frozen packs of vegetables. Just buy plain frozen vegetables and lightly sauce them yourself. It is healthier and in almost every way better. And once you see how quick it is to make, you will want to expand using vinaigrettes. They are healthy, clean, and above all, easy. That is it for this video demo. You can find a written version of this video, additional vinaigrette suggestions, along with other cooking and lifestyle tips at RightSizeLife.com. RightSizeLife.com is an online community dedicated to those of us living solo or in pairs. RightSizeLife.com. Big living on a small scale.